Hey guys, welcome to Rip and Email Monday. Today I'm going to analyze Robinhood's sophisticated email marketing streams. They've done a great job at creating different dedicated IP pools for different sending purposes. This is to isolate their reputation, considering the volume of emails they send out. They also did a great job on branding their emails differently. So I'm going to show you all that stuff and how it works in the background. So let's dive right into it. If you're not sure what Robinhood is, it's an investment app that lets you easily add money from your bank, choose the stocks that you like, and invest in them in one click. Their interface is clean and they're growing very rapidly in numbers given the circumstances that are happening right now. If you haven't used them, try them out. I'm a personal user and I like that app very much. I'm going to start by analyzing their main marketing email stream. They call it Robinhood Snack. So they branded it as its own kind of with its own logo. And what they do is they follow the same exact format every single time, which is something that I find really, really helpful because every time I see that a weekly email newsletter from them on Monday, I know exactly how it's broken down and I have some sort of an expectation getting into the email. So they have things like, the big headlines from the top. Then they have takeaways from a big story. Who's up, who's down, as far as like the stocks going up and going down. Some, what else is snacking. And then eventually they have some podcasts and other promotions. Very helpful. Like I like this format. And if you have a large digest and you're pushing a lot of content regularly, I think that format works really well. Now below, they have manage your subscription preferences. By clicking on it, I want to share this as well. A lot of people don't know what a preferences is, how to set it up, and they overthink it. I really think they've done a great job here. They literally have this basic page that lets you either get daily updates or weekly updates. If you're wondering how to break down your content, maybe that's a good approach. You can do weekly or monthly if you feel like you cannot do the weekly or the daily on an ongoing basis. So don't overthink your preferences, but I do think it's a good idea to provide your contacts access to their own preferences page. Okay. And if you're wondering what's the difference between that and a click to unsubscribe, usually the unsubscribe might take action immediately and remove you from all the lists, versus a subscription gives you options to opt in and out of different lists. Okay. So that's their marketing email. As you can see, it's branded as Robinhood Snacks. And if I look at the background with the show original, you will see they're using SendGrid for email. Everything is properly set up, and I would expect this from a company like that. And the IP, as you can note here, and this is important, is ending in 32. Now let's look at another email they send out. So this is, I'm going to take one which is an order that I placed. So let me just take a quick look here. This is order placed. You see the branding is slightly different. Even the font is slightly different, smaller. The footer is the same. Obviously it might include some additional legal stuff when it comes to sending out emails with, trading and whatnot. But all the way on the bottom, you're going to see additional options here for unsubscribing without preferences, because this is more of communication email. And looking at the background here with the show original, they also send it from SendGrid, and I know this by searching. Right, so they have it right here, and it's a completely different IP pool. Again, they're separating their transactional from an IP pool versus the non-transactional. Okay. Let's look at one more email, which is more general. This is like a waiting list that you can sign up to. You can see the branding. Now it has a logo. They're actually advertising that card, which I like. It gives you access to your portfolio money immediately. But if you scroll to the bottom, you're going to see here also an unsubscribe without preferences. So it seems like the preferences was offered on the main newsletter versus everything. And I really like that. The format is clean and the logo is different. So far we saw 3 different brands. One of them is the Snacks, which is the weekly or daily updates. It has its own logo. We have this one, which is general transactional, I call it, with this logo right here. And then you have the one that only has that icon. These are the direct transactional. And also diving into this one, to see the original, I can tell immediately it's a different IP pool. So this one is ending in 39. Okay. In total, by looking at all those emails, you can see this is one IP pool for direct transactional. I'm pretty sure they have more than one IP per se that rotates. But you can see they're really not relying on just one IP to send out everything, which wouldn't be a good practice. And the reason being is that if for some reason your marketing emails are not getting the best engagement, if your marketing emails are hitting spam traps, if somebody is just complaining, you don't want that to impact transactional emails. Usually transactional gets a lot higher open rates, higher engagement. People kind of save them and they revisit them for records. Um, so overall, separating your marketing from your transactional and sending each from a different IP could be a smart idea moving forward with the email technique. Now, obviously, there's a lot more to this. It's not only those three. They have probably partner emails and they have vendor emails and a million other types of emails. But this is what I can see so far, analyzing their, consumer front-facing consumer communications. And I do think, the takeaway is that don't be afraid to experiment with slightly different branding for different purposes. Always include a preferences on the bottom. Think of sticking to the same format of emails every time so people know what to expect when they get emails from you. And separate your IP pools if you're getting into the high volume sender so your transactional and your marketing are not conflicting with each other. All right, this is it for today. Hopefully this was helpful.